2 points and I'm through. So now, the ark is coming. Now, can I tell you the mystery of this text? Because in the Old Testament, the men didn't dance. It went something like this. When the general or king in David's case did something great, his privilege was to ride in a chariot as they celebrated him. The privilege of the wife was to lead the women in dance, joining in the celebration. So at the Red Sea, when God gave them victory, the men sang, but Miriam led the women in dance. The men didn't dance in the Old Testament, they sang. So now God is being celebrated. David is honoring his presence, bringing the ark back. As an honor to the presence of God, Michal, his wife, was supposed to lead the women in dancing. But she had an attitude. She was mad because David was giving God praise. So then, when David looked around and saw that God didn't have a head dancer, Michal was supposed to honor God by dancing with the handmaidens, but she was too cute to give God praise. David looked around and said, wait a minute, God doesn't have a dancer. Now I know the men aren't supposed to dance, but God doesn't have a dancer. I know I'm breaking protocol, but God doesn't have a dancer. I know this isn't traditional, but God doesn't have a dancer. Later for protocol, later for tradition, I got to give God a dancer. David got out his chariot and began to leap and dance. Is there anybody in here that say, I know it ain't Sunday, but I think I'll break tradition and give God a Sunday praise on Thursday night? I usually reserve my best praise for Sunday morning, but God don't have a dancer. I think I'll honor him with my best. I know it's late, but God don't have a dancer. I know I gotta go to work tomorrow, but God don't have a dancer. I know I gotta get home, but God don't have a dancer. I know it ain't Sunday, but God doesn't have a dancer, and I will honor him. God has to have a praiser. God has to have somebody that don't mind sweating their hair out, don't mind losing their cool. God. High five somebody and say, excuse me if I got a little radical, but God doesn't have a dancer, and I gotta honor him. He kept me, he blessed me, he saved me, he turned my life around, and he's gotta have a dancer. Excuse me if I got a little radical on Thursday night, but it's another year, and God doesn't have a dancer. I can't let nobody outpraise me. I can't let nobody outgive God the glory. I owe him my best. Praise him. Now, I can't tell you Lord have mercy. Let me close. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. The text ends by saying, so Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child till the day of her death. So watch this. There's only two things that will happen to you when you don't honor his presence. Go fruitless and die. Go barren and die.